Which dating app is the best in 2025? In this video, we're gonna find out. It feels like every day a new dating app is popping up, and you're way too busy to spend all of your time swiping on these apps, hoping to find success. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly where to allocate your time so you can stop swiping endlessly and start landing dates. So if you're new to the channel, please pound that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. So let's start off with the most popular dating app in the world, Tinder. In my opinion, Tinder used to be one of the best dating apps out there, but in 2025, it's very overrated. I've noticed in the past year, Tinder has become far less popular, and as a result, it's been flooded with more fake profiles than ever. A lot of people have left Tinder for better dating apps over the past couple of years, and Tinder's kind of on the way out. So what they've decided to do during their decline is to just try and squeeze their users out of as much money as possible. You used to be able to get by decently on Tinder without paying for premium, but what I've noticed in 2025 is that you will have very little success on this app unless you subscribe to one of their premium packages like Tinder Gold or Tinder Platinum. But the worst part is once you get Tinder Gold and unlock all of your likes to see which women have actually engaged with your profile, you're gonna find that the users on Tinder are far lower quality than on other dating apps. But I do have to give Tinder credit where it's due. In some countries around the world, other dating apps are less popular, and Tinder is still the #1 dating app. As I've traveled to places like Latin America and Asia, Tinder is actually a very popular dating app where you can match a lot of beautiful women without paying for premium features. But if you're in Europe or North America, Tinder is a pretty big waste of time. I still think it's worth having a Tinder profile in 2025, but I wouldn't allocate too much of your attention to this app. And I also wouldn't get too discouraged if you're not finding success on Tinder. Get a few swipes in per day, see what you get. Maybe your experience will be good on that app, but in my opinion, Tinder is not the best dating app in 2025. All right, so next up is one of my favorite dating apps, Bumble. Now, traditionally, Bumble has been the dating app where women make the first move. You see, Bumble was started by Whitney Wolfe Herd, who used to work at Tinder but left the company due to some harassment or discrimination. And she was inspired to create a dating app that was designed for women. Bumble had a unique strategy where when a match happened, women had 24 hours to send the first message. And if women didn't send a first message within 24 hours, the match would expire forever. Now, in dating app reviews of past years, I've given Bumble a very hard time over this because while it sounds like a nice, progressive idea in theory, in practice, women actually didn't really seem to enjoy sending the first message. Most guys could probably relate to this on Bumble. Like more than half of the matches would expire because women just didn't want to send the first message. And when they did send the first message, they would open with, "Hey, hi, how are you?" like 99% of the time, which really isn't an engaging message to spark a conversation whatsoever. But in the past year, Bumble has revamped the app with a new feature called opening moves. What that means is that when a match happens, women have a prompt that allows men to send the first message on Bumble for the very first time in the history of Bumble. It was a massive move for Bumble, really revitalized the dating app. And that's why I think Bumble is actually one of the better dating apps in 2025. Because it's still marketed as this dating app for women, women feel more encouraged to use Bumble as a dating app compared to other apps like Tinder. One thing you've got to keep in mind is that dating apps are predominantly male. The average dating app has about 70% male users and 30% female users. So the big advantage that Bumble has is that they've positioned themselves as the dating app for women. So if you are a straight guy looking to meet women online, Bumble is a great dating app. Now, since Bumble introduced this opening move, I've personally seen a massive increase in the success I've had on the app, but a lot of the guys that I work with are still pretty frustrated by Bumble. Bumble's a weird app where some guys absolutely crush it and other guys just really scrape by and don't see a lot of attention, even with an optimized profile. It's weird. It seems like Bumble has some strange shadow ban in their algorithm because a lot of guys get like literally no matches, delete their account, and then start it up a couple of weeks later, and the algorithm starts to pick them up and they're getting a ton of abundance. So just keep that in mind if you are using Bumble. If you are on the wrong side of the algorithm, consider deleting your account, waiting a couple of weeks, and then starting it up again. If you are on the right side of the Bumble algorithm, you're gonna have an absolutely amazing time. And it is definitely one of the dating apps I recommend in 2025. But with that, let's get into the next dating app, Hinge. Now, Hinge is an absolutely incredible dating app, but it comes with a caveat. Hinge is only really used in North America, Western Europe, and Australia. So if you're in a country where Hinge just hasn't really taken off, you're probably gonna run out of swipes within a couple of hours. But if you are in a country where Hinge is popular, it is an outstanding dating app. As someone who's used all the big dating apps, I can definitely say that the most attractive women are on Hinge. But here's the caveat. Those women are insanely picky, and you need to have an optimized profile to be seen in the algorithm. If your profile isn't optimized, what you're gonna find is that the only women the app shows you are pretty unattractive. And that's because the Hinge algorithm is very different from apps like Tinder or Bumble. Hinge tries to pair you with someone on your level. You are not gonna have success if you simply throw the 5 to 6 least crappy photos from your camera roll up in your profile. Women put a lot of effort into their photos. The way they present themselves online is important to them, and they're looking at your profile with that same perspective. So when you throw a crappy photo from 6 years ago up on your dating profile, or a shirtless mirror selfie with a urinal in the back, you're signaling to women that you're not putting any effort into your profile whatsoever, and it's a huge turnoff to them. And look, as guys, being photogenic and creating good images of ourselves doesn't come naturally. And that's why I created the ultimate dating profile guide, the Matchbook. In this guide, I uncover the biggest mistakes that are causing 99% of women to reject your profile and how to fix them. This guide has over 50 sample photos, 50 sample bios, and 20 sample prompts. So if you're tired of swiping endlessly and not really getting any matches, the Matchbook is gonna show you exactly how to build a top tier dating profile in just a couple of days. I put a link down in the description of this video where you can get the Matchbook right now. I've packed this thing with so much value, and thousands of men around the world have already used the Matchbook to get great results. So click the link down below if you're ready to level up. One of the things I love about Hinge is that features that cost money on other dating apps are free on Hinge. For example, you can change your location on Hinge absolutely free. You can also attach messages to your likes, which costs money on apps like Tinder and Bumble. The only downside to Hinge is that it only allows you to send out a handful of likes per day. So you will run out of swipes fairly quickly. But if you use the app consistently for a couple of weeks, make sure you send out all of your likes per day, you'll notice that your matches really start to snowball after just a couple of weeks. If you are using Hinge, keep this in mind. You should be swiping for quality over quantity. All right, the next dating app is Facebook Dating. You guys have been asking me for a Facebook dating review for months now, so here it is. Facebook dating is pretty popular among the 30+ crowd. So if you're in your 20s, I wouldn't waste too much time on Facebook dating, but if you're over 30, you might actually find a good amount of success on here. Facebook dating is weird. Personally, I haven't had a ton of success on it, but I have friends and clients who absolutely crush it on there and get a few dates every week. The big downside I noticed about Facebook dating is that it showed me women who were hundreds of miles away, which is great if you want an e-girlfriend, but if you actually want to land dates in real life, Facebook dating might be a bit of a waste of time. You see, the app allows you to swipe with women in your area, but when you go to your likes section and see which women have liked your profile, you'll often notice that most of them are hundreds of miles away, and it's pretty pointless actually matching with these profiles, which can be extremely frustrating. I think if Facebook dating fixed this bug and became more of a local dating app rather than a chat with strangers online app, it could be the best dating app in the world. So hopefully Facebook dating fixes this issue in 2025, and I can give this app a more glowing review in 2026. But in the meantime, I personally wouldn't invest too much attention into Facebook dating. For me, it's been a massive waste of time, but try it for yourself and let me know down in the comments if you've had some success with Facebook dating. All right, an honorable mention, because so many of you guys use this like it's a dating app, Instagram. Instagram isn't necessarily a dating app, but it's still one of the most powerful dating tools in 2025. When most people think about using Instagram for dating, they think about cold DMs. That's DMing a random girl that you've never met in real life and hoping to somehow magically pull a date from Instagram. I'm here to tell you right now that is a very low percentage dating strategy. While Instagram is a very bad cold outreach tool, it is an incredible nurture tool. If you met a girl on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, any other dating app, and funnel her into your Instagram, you're very likely to score a date with her if your Instagram profile is optimized. It's also really good if you have an abundance of matches coming in and you can't possibly text all these girls within your iMessage at once. It's a great idea to send all these women over to Instagram, post high quality stories a couple of times a week, and watch them actually slide into your DM. options. If you get a woman's number and text her, if a date doesn't happen in the first week, it's pretty much a dead lead at that point. You could try and text her back a couple of weeks later, but 9 times out of 10, it's going absolutely nowhere. If instead you funnel these women onto Instagram, it's very easy to pick up the conversation where you left off because she can go to your profile and remember who you are and be like, oh yeah, that guy was actually pretty good looking and had a really cool vibe. I'd love to go on a date with him and I'm glad he reached out again. So while Instagram isn't a dating app per se, it's really good at building trust, social proof, and shows her that you actually live an attractive, cool, grounded lifestyle. All right, drum roll please. It is the final verdict. Which dating app is the best in 2025? I've gotta go with Hinge. While some of the dating apps I mentioned in this video are great, Hinge has the highest quality women by far. So if you are looking to maximize your dates in 2025, Hinge is where you should put most of your attention. And I gotta give Bumble a solid round of applause. With their new opening move feature, Bumble has hit a renaissance this year, a rebirth, which means it should be a solid #2 dating app in your arsenal. If you pair these dating apps with a optimized Instagram profile, you should be getting more dates than you can possibly handle. Shout out to Facebook dating and Tinder. While they're not my top picks, I still use them from time to time and recommend that you still have an account on there just to keep your options open, but I probably wouldn't allocate too much time and attention to those dating apps. Let me know down in the comments if you agree. Which dating app do you think was the best in 2025? Appreciate the support on this video. Make sure you pound that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.